Chicks on your APs, looking like weeds. Haven't seen.
Welcome back to another edition of the 1 a.m. podcast. I'm Rashad Milligan. Today is actually a late episode because we're starting this at 12:05 local time on the East Coast. I'm joined here by Jelani and RB Mo. Fellas, how are y'all doing, man?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. You know, another day, another dollar.
Yo, Mo, you looking super wild. Pause when I say is you looking well moisturized today. Like you got the good skincare going. I don't know if it's the ring light or the skincare, but
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you know, I did get a new like this little scrub thing for my face. So when I wash my face, usually I wash my face with my hands, but now I use like the little scrubber thing that's supposed to like help exfoliate.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The little glove.
Nah, it's not a glove. It's like a little kind of like a little brush in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on Amazon for like $8, so I was like, okay, that might be kind of lit.
No, it's dope that like us as men that we could, you know, say stuff like that now, because I feel like 10, 15 years ago you might get called a slur for buying like exfoliating gloves or exfoliating brushes as men and things like that. Even like getting facials or like getting manicures, I feel like it's like less frowned upon than it used to be.
No, facts. You know, from what I've heard, I hear like more women talk about how they like a guy who does keep his maintenance up, you know?
Yeah.
I had a girl tell me one time about her friend had a dude who didn't like completely, like, you know how they got the dude wipes and stuff now. So I guess he didn't hear about them yet. So he was in bed, and then she said that it was a whole like doo-doo stain through her sheets. I guess it got caught in between or something like that. And yeah, I was like,
because they were being intimate. I was like, how does that even happen? And I was like, oh, he had no drawers on.
Yeah.
It took me a moment to make the connection.
Yeah. But how you doing today, Jelani?
Oh man, that's what a way to start the episode off. No, I'm doing great. I'm in a decent mood. I just been watching. I was watching the football game earlier. Yo, every time that we get to football season, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. It's like it takes a while for my brain to process. Like, yo, football really back. Like, because the off season is so long. Football has the longest off season, if I'm correct. It's like 8 months or whatever. So yeah, by the time we get back to when football is here, it's like it's kind of surreal.
Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah, football off season is 6 months. No, 7. Because the Super Bowl is in February, and then it just started right now, and it's September. That's 7 months.
And the Super Bowl is the last game of the year. Most of the teams your season is done with in basically like beginning of January.
Yeah. So that's 8 months.
I remember it's necessary though, because they go through obviously so much. But I remember there was a viral tweet like 2 years ago. It was like, imagine if the NFL had an 82 game schedule. Like, bro, that wouldn't, like, people, not even being funny, people would die.
No. Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Like, the body, you can't. People are messed up for life off of 16 games or 17 games now a year.
Facts. Yeah, and you know they'll just go ahead and just replace you. Next man up.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Won't think twice about it.
But this was the point of the XFL and AFL. And they just like people just, I guess, never got behind them. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, people just want the NFL, man. Like some sickos, they love the XFL, like because they can follow that stuff. They can never get enough football, but for the most part, people are just like they just want the main thing, man.
No, facts. Cause I'll be seeing over the summer, you know, you'll randomly look and see there's a XFL game or what is it, USFL now? Yeah. So, you know, I feel like you see those games on, and then I'll try and watch it a little bit, but it don't be the same. I guess, you know, also you don't have no investment in it, you know?
I mean, but the players, a lot of times you at least know the quarterback because there'll be some dude that was like lit in college. Like I remember I was watching I went to Fan Control Football, the championship a couple years ago. I
Yeah.
don't know if that league is still going, but the league was going in dang, where's that place? It's like West Brewery or something like that in Atlanta.
I'm not sure.
Dang, I forgot the name of that place, but it was over there, and then, you know, little warehouse looking joint or whatever. Where it's one of them places, you know, where they say the sign of gentrification, where they have a little barn, little setup with the picnic tables out there, and like the little you could play the little toss game, or you could throw the little the arrows at the little target and stuff like that. It was one of them joints, you know, kind of like the
mason jars for cups.
yeah, Mason Yards, that's what it is. But kind of like West Side Motor Lounge, where they got like the wood chips out there, and they got the little picnic tables. That's the sign of gentrification. Anyways, it was out there, and you know, it was real nice. You know what I'm saying? Like the team owners was like Drewski, Michael Irvin. No, Michael Irvin wasn't a team owner. I went on behalf of Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher was one of the team owners, and he invited us out to cover it. And Bone Crusher brought with him Michael Irvin. Like, he was their ride and everything like that and stuff like that. And it was fire, bro. And Johnny Manziel was the owner of one of the teams. So, you know, it was real cool. Fan controlled football, exactly what it sounds like. It's like Madden, bro. You go downstairs, you're downstairs on a little tablet, and you pick the play that you want the players to run. And I guess they have like headset and they little helmets, and they run the play that you tell them to run.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was indoors. It was like that. It was a good game, but the quarterback was the old dude from Clemson a few years ago, black dude, like Taj Boyd. Taj Boyd was a quarterback. So it was like I knew some of the players, and you know, Johnny Manziel was there. Not Daquan Cook. What's a buddy name that used to play for Florida State?
Dalvin?
Dalvin Cook, my dog. Dalvin Cook was out there. All of them was out there. So it was a good time, but the league didn't last long. Long story less long. The league didn't last.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie. If Taj Boyd is out there, because you said a few years ago, that's a smooth like decade and a half ago when he was popping.
He was playing like 08.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say Taj Boyd I think he was in college when we was like in high school around that time.
Yeah, I think his rival, you know, he was out there around the time of DJ Shockley.
That's crazy. I
don't know if he that old. Hold on. Hold on. I got to pull up the dang stats because DJ Shockley was dang. He was on the Falcons when we was in 6th grade.
No, Taj Boyd, he was the quarterback right before Deshaun Watson got there.
Okay, yeah, it say 14-16. I just looked it up on Google.
Oh, okay.
No, Taj Boyd was. That's when Deshaun Watson was there.
Nah, Deshaun Watson was there when we were there. Deshaun Watson, our age, bro.
No. So I'm saying like Taj Boyd was like 20. He had to be like 2010 to like.
Nah, it's 2014, 2016 right here.
I
mean, that's his NFL career. Wait, no, there's no way, bro. There's no way, bro.
He joined the Steelers in
I feel like he was the starting quarterback from 2011 to 2013.
I was about to say,
what the heck?
Because I remember that's that Google AI is trying to throw us off.
Sammy Watkins, shout out Sammy Watkins. Hey, I used to have him on my dang fantasy team like every year, bro.
Super Bowl champion.
Shout out Sammy Watkins, bro.
Yo, so far we talked about. I actually wanted to just briefly go back to that because I feel like we definitely just skipped over homie causing doo-doo in the bed sheets. Like that's just a scenario you can't bounce back from. Like it's it's no apologizing. It's no like, yo, my bad. Like that's just the end of the relationship at that point.
But you know, let's keep it a buck. If you was able to leave doo-doo stains in the sheets, Shorty could smell that beforehand, you know? So and
Yeah, that's a good point.
she was able to overlook it. She probably, because hey man, there'll be some girls that's nasty out here, man.
Because they don't, if it's that much to where it could leave stain, like that's not to be graphic, but that's build up. Like that's you that wasn't like you just forgot to wipe once or twice. Like you just got up off the toilet and just put your pants on. It just kept it moving.
Facts. No, for real, bro. Yeah, that I saw this.
To me, my bad, Mo, for cutting you off. I just want to say this entire conversation is just a great advertisement for Dude Wipes.
Bro, for real.
It made me want to get Dude Wipe.
Yeah, nah, because that stuff is important. I saw this one post about the girl talking about you meet a guy who pretty much hasn't been broken in yet, where they don't know about like skincare, they don't know about like matcha, they don't know about this, about that. And and it's interesting because it'd be the simplest stuff that girls can put you onto. And I feel like this is one of those things that, like, me living with a girl for a good amount of time, she kept wipes. So, I learned that's something that I didn't really grow up. I'll keep it a buck, like when I was a kid, I wasn't, using no wipes and stuff. I didn't have them in the bathroom. But that's something that I'm going to definitely pass on to my child as I get older, to definitely, I want like wipes, shoe, like skincare, as you talk about with like facials and stuff. Like I feel like all that stuff is, it's good to keep yourself healthy, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, and I think a lot of guys, they get insecure about that because it's like, oh, this is historically women things, But it's like, shoot. Like I heard on this one podcast, it was talking about dudes don't really like to clean their butt, because I don't know if we passed the point where we're cursing, but they don't really like do that because they be like, oh, it's gay. I ain't finna get all up in there. And it's like, to be gay or to be dirty,
Bruh. All right, so I'm in LA, right? This was probably maybe 2022. And I was taking an Uber back from Target. So I'm taking an Uber back from Target. And I think I was watching like a lot of Aiden Ross and stuff at the time or whatever. So, like obviously sus jokes was like his thing. So I bring up the dude. I say, hey, bruh, would you for like $1 million, bruh? Like, and he was like, nah, man, nah, bruh. And then I was like, nah, not for the milli. And then he's like, nah, bro. He said, bro, I don't play that. He said, I don't even like to take poops.
What?
That's the way he described it to me. He said he don't. That's how not gay he was. He doesn't even like to take poops.
So is he saying that when you poop and it stretches your,
He
this
was
is
saying,
a crazy. I don't even want to say this because
he was saying he don't like anywhere near that area of his body.
Okay, hey man, I don't even know what to say to that. That's what, like there's the same way I feel like there's levels to racism. There's definitely levels to like homophobia. Like some dudes, they be like casually homophobic. Some dudes is like real dedicated to the homophobia lifestyle. Like they not. There's dudes. I remember there was a podcast I used to listen to. I remember hearing a guy on there say, like, he doesn't like to have his son sit on his lap. Like he feel like that's like a little bit too much. Like to have his son, like he said, if his son like tries to crawl on his lap, he'll just be like he'll tap him like, yo, you gotta get down. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean, which is like you're taking it a little bit too far, bro. Like it's not even that serious.
Yo, y'all ever seen, this is kind of on a different topic, but I guess somewhat the same. Y'all ever seen that movie, Something Strange About the Johnsons or whatever?
I heard about it. I never wanted to watch it just based off what I heard of. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't watch it. But I've heard about, one of the scenes.
Man.
Same. I remember when it was advertised, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
So I remember, I've heard about it for years, But then the girl I was messing with, she was like, yeah, I want to watch this. And so she had no clue what it was about. And so I had an idea. And so she was like, I want to watch it, So I'm like, you sure? She was like, yeah. Like, I was like, all right, I'll watch it with you. It can't be that bad. Bruh, it's that bad. I'm not gonna hold you. It's very cringy, very just like I was watching the movie with a girl and I didn't even want to touch her afterwards. Like just to keep it a buck, bro. Cause it's just like you feel so just like, what the yo. Yeah, that movie it's crazy, bro. Dude, I would never recommend.
What's the something like gay?
Yeah, so essentially the son is in love with the dad. And then and it's like so initially, and it's like in that first scene in the top left, his dad had came in to give him actually look on the second row on the right. When he's looking at that photo, he's looking at a photo of his dad. Nah, go up one. Where Buddy looking at the photo. Yeah, he's looking at a photo of his dad, and then he starts like jerking off. Yeah, and this was like right after his dad walked out, and because his dad
should be like something asterisk about the Johnsons, and then they'll have like in fine print at the bottom, asterisk something equals gay stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Because then it gets to a point where the dad want to stop, but then the son don't. So then the son is pretty much, like abusing him and forcing him, and then the mom is like in the house and knows what's going on, but acting like she don't know what's going on. And then she eventually I think she had to kill the son, and then the dad killed himself or something like that. And it's OD, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. It is OD. Like I said, like no exaggeration, bro. Like me and her was like sitting next to each other, but we didn't even want to touch each other. It was just like, yo, what the heck did we just watch? Yeah, I don't know who made that. Whoever made that has a sick mind, bro.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it like when you first brought the movie up, but yeah, that was the main thing that I knew about the movie is that the first scene is him beating his meat to a picture of his pops. That's really all I know about the movie. Whenever because every now and then you'll see somebody like they'll tweet or you'll see like on Reddit or something like that. It would be like, what's the creepiest movie you've seen or something like that. And this is one of the movies that'll pop up when people talk about that.
I want to steal this real quick, Mo, from what we was watching with Kai earlier, Kai and Talil and them.
Mm-hmm.
What's the strangest thing y'all gotten off to by yourselves?
You said what's the strangest thing
you've gotten off to?
Man, yo.
I'm trying to think what would be the strangest thing. Man, I'll say it's definitely been when I was young. They'll be having those those late night HBO softcore whatever going on, the Cinemax. But Cinemax was just known for they had the stuff on there, bro. So I'll say probably some of that Cinemax stuff. When you're young, you I ain't gonna hold you. It probably been like a movie that I've seen that I can't think of a movie right off top though. But yeah, when you're young, your middle school years, you probably just you see the right thing that trigger it. You just like, hey, it's time.
I was a veteran of HBO. I knew I used to you had to keep the last button, you know what I mean, on either like Cartoon Network or Disney Channel or something like that, just in case. If you were there, you know. I got a few different answers to that question because I've been in game for almost 20 years now. I've seen some things. Um, I had like my early era, like when I first started off. That was like the girls going wild in commercials. It's like back in the day. They used to come on like 4 in the morning. I think it was like Spike TV, Comedy Central. I still remember the networks that came on. That was some material early in the game. But I would say, wow, this is a crazy question. All right, so I'm gonna get real vulnerable with y'all. This is one of my gayest moments in my life, arguably my gayest moment in life. So if you remember Vine, like when Vine first came out, before it got bought or whatever, it was like completely uncensored. Like there was no filter. You could put whatever you wanted to put on there. So there used to be like certain pages that would post certain types of content or whatever. So I'm on one of those pages one time doing my thing, and I'm getting towards the end. I'm about to, you know what I mean? You can fill in the blank or whatever. And as I'm about to fill in the blank, I'm scrolling through the Vine page, and it's mostly up until this point, it's only girls on here. Like it's girls, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever. And then out of nowhere, I'm scrolling as I'm about to finish, and it's just a dude, sitting down, doing his thing, beating his, it's just a random Vine of a dude beating his meat pops up, and I'm already about to finish, and I didn't stop. I was like, you know what? This is what it is. I'm here now. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like I was watching this the whole time. It was, you know what I'm saying? It just popped up out of nowhere. I can't stop it now. And yeah,
They only 6 minutes long.
Exactly. 6 seconds. But that was the thing about it, is that like I'm scrolling, everything is normal, and then that one popped up, and it was like, am I gonna stop now? Am I about to start over? No, I'm here. A business decision was made. So yeah.
Hey, I feel it, man. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, bro. It's like, am I gonna start this all the way back over? Nah.
No, it wasn't like that.
I feel like you said, if you ever had, you know what I'm saying, like if you was a vet in the game at any point, you definitely had, you know what I'm saying, even if you're just watching a traditional film, you definitely had a moment where the camera might have cut to just a close up on the dude's face while he was going to work, doing his thing. And that was just the timing that lined up there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it means, that it was the dude's face that got you there. It was just you was already there, and then a close up, next shot, boom, man's face, and then you're like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, so it's just unfortunate.
The worst is when you watching it and then it just gets too nasty and you just like, now like they spitting and doing all the crazy stuff, and you like,
like just slapping each other and stuff. No, bro. I tell you what makes me feel bad. Well, makes. I said it with the S. I said made me. Look at that. Come on now. By the grace of God, delivered. But anyways, well, what made me feel bad, bro, was okay. I'm getting very vulnerable here, and I'm only getting vulnerable because Jelani got vulnerable. Ghetto gaggers, bro. Bruh, like I couldn't finish those. I was just like, I felt terrible, bro. I was like, bro, this is like human. This is not right. You're not treating them like humans, bro. I just felt too bad, bro. Like my humanity came out, and you know how you don't become a human, you don't get your humanity back until after the fact, and then you like, dang, that was terrible. What the heck? But like, nah, in the act, I was like, nah, this is terrible, bro. And ghetto gaggers, bro. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I can't even like I don't even. That's one of the ones where it's like I judge it off the how you could like click on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I was about to say the thumbnail.
It's like the little preview. Like them the ones I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. He doing a little bit too much in this one.
Nah, facts. Yeah, I like the whole gagging and all that stuff, bro. Like, you know, some guys like, you know, they like, you know, all that stuff, and yo, what ruined it for me, bro? Okay, you know, everybody want to get vulnerable, so, bro, I had this moment, bro, where I was with this girl, and she was doing her thing, and then she gagged, and then end up like throwing up. Yo, and but this is where it's like I ain't gonna lie. So it happened, but then like I was like, "There's no way that just happened." And then, but it wasn't like crazy, but it was just I could tell like, "Yo," but I was kind of like, "Ain't no way." But then she just act like nothing happened and kept going, and I was like, "Ain't no way." And I was like, "She
She's
would have."
dedicated to the craft, man. Salute, man. That's a man.
Yeah.
What? You ain't embarrassed or nothing. Hey, salute.
Bruh, yeah, I was so thrown off, bro. I was just like, ain't no way. I was really just in shock because I was just like, you really just gonna act like that? Didn't like I was, nah, she didn't do that, nah. But yeah, bro. So yeah, this is definitely crazy way. This this is why we shouldn't record after 12, y'all.
Right, exactly.
Well, the question came up because you was talking about the lick at the Johnsons, and then or the something about the Johnsons, and then I thought about what Kai and them, because Kai and them was having a discussion like this before the Jonas Brothers came in, Jelani, which was just insane timing. It was like V's, he came, he left, then Talil and Dez came in, his boys. I think Punga was all no, it's just Dez and Talil. They started talking about how they used to be beating the joints in high school. And then Jonas Brothers came in. It literally went in that order. So but yeah. For me, because I didn't even give my answer. My answer is along the same lines of Vine, but it's TikTok. And TikTok, if you guys know about TikTok, unlike Vine, there was no uncensored da 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 da. People be having their clothes on. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think this was probably the weirdest stuff is just going to TikTok, bro. And so yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, okay, technically it's not like all the way. Obviously, you can't like be naked on there or whatever, but you could do enough that it's not. It ain't that. I could see it. I can understand it. It'd be some stuff going on there. Still,
But it's still I feel like that's still kind of wild though. You know what I'm saying? Like that's still like I don't know. I feel like it's still kind of wild.
Hey,
here's
I
the
ain't
thing.
gonna hold.
My bad, bro. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I ain't gonna hold you, man. You know, back when I was middle school, bro, I done rub one out to twerk team. They were fully clothed.
Y'all remember the the candy section on World Star? I feel like we talked about this before.
Oh, the eye candy.
The eye candy section, yeah.
Well, World Star though, it was more leaning HBO than you say TikTok or YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I was definitely tapped in. For sure. Now the real question, and y'all don't have to answer it if you want, but the real question is, where's the wildest place that you know done that at? That's the real question.
Oh, done like by ourselves? No, I ain't never nothing in no public by myself. Nah. I'm trying to think. Nah, I ain't never. Nah, I ain't that. No. Cause I had to think about it. I was like, nah, I ain't never
Listen,
that by myself,
high
bro.
high school, I was
Oh nah, you wild, you a wild boy.
yeah,
I
high
think
school. I
anywhere
definitely.
outside your house is crazy by
No, it
yourself.
is. It absolutely. I agree with you. Looking back on it, I was like, no, I would never. But I definitely a few times at school. Not even gonna lie to you, like definitely.
You wash your hands when you were back to class?
I'm sure I did. I mean, I don't think I. I'm positive that I did. It was partially okay. It was partially because I had a girlfriend back then. So like I used to not even if you don't have a girlfriend in high school or a boyfriend, like just as a high schooler, you're walking around like bricked up, sticked up, just because you're a teenager around that time. So like add that on top of the fact that I'm, kissing your girlfriend first thing in the morning. I'm just like naturally, and we was like the first generation of high schoolers to have Twitter and Instagram. So it's like it was just a lot going on around that time. And your boy was the hormones was hormoning, in that era.
That makes sense. Like when Kai was talking about how he did it in middle school, but I can see it now. What you talking about, like Instagram and Twitter, because you're gonna see a lot of crazy stuff. And they said you got a girl, you maybe just did something with a girl, but you can't really get all those hormones out and whatnot. That makes more sense. I could see that.
Shout out to the this is the sickest thing I've ever said on this podcast. Shout out to the seminar room bathroom.
Oh man. Yo.
That's the seminar room bathroom.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the seminar room bathroom used to be like mad empty.
That was the best bathroom in the whole
school. It was the cleanest bathroom, bro.
It was the cleanest and the emptiest. That was the
best one, man, for sure. But it was the best one for me for like just like reasons of using the restroom.
Where's the crazy place you hooked up then? You said not by yourself.
Okay. I'll probably say like I don't know how far I went here, but I definitely think I might have started here. The Epicenter parking lot, bro.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. On the Lord's grounds, my boy.
That's a church.
So it's the teen center for the Bishop Bronner.
I think I've heard of it. I'm not sure. Is this like one of the bigger? I know like the old school, like TD Jakes and like that era. Like is this like a more recent?
He been around for a little minute. They own like the Bronner Brothers, like hair.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what you said, Bronner. I was thinking about the hair company. Okay, for sure. I didn't know that there was like a. See, I'm lacking on my Black history.
Yeah, he's a pastor.
Okay, I didn't know.
Over there by like Six Flags, and so across the street they got an Epicenter, which is a very nice place, and it's like where they'll host like the teen night and stuff like that. So it's pretty much a teen center. I think they had a bowling alley in there, like a studio,
a bowling alley, basketball court, and an arcade, and a rock climbing wall. But the rock climbing wall was never open for us on teen night.
But yeah, so yeah, they had all that over there. But yeah, so essentially it's the teen church. And yeah, my boy, hey, he said I couldn't wait.
Like I think we started like it was like you know what I'm saying a couple of kisses, and then it was like she was like, yo, it's kind of wild, let's at least like go down the street. So what I did, I started up the car, drove down the street, and
right,
kept going.
Was this in high school or this is
no, this was college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I done definitely like hooked up in a park and stuff before, but I think the craziest place I done hooked up with a girl, the Georgia Aquarium.
Was this at one of them? They be having to spend the night things.
Nah.
Was it broad daylight?
Nah, it was towards the end of closing. Like they were about to close. So it was, it cleared out a little bit, but yeah, we snuck into the bathroom, man. Did what it did.
How are they gifting 1 million subs to Kai Cenat? I ain't get one yet. I think of that every time I watch this. Most say the same thing, but he has 19 million followers. So 19 million, if they donate 1 million, that's still only what's one of 19.
One fifth, basically.
It's about 6-7%.
Yeah, it's 6%. I'm 5% actually. 5%, bro. It's only 5% people get gifted subs. even with the million, that's crazy. Kai too powerful, bro. Kai too powerful. But going back to this for sure. Um, and the aquarium's crazy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
I guess Jelani said a playground. Also, one of my go tos in high school was technically because I live, I had a elementary school behind my house.
This man is at the craziest places.
So like at the elementary school at the park, it's a hill, bruh. Like, so it's like the top part of the park, a hill, and then it's a hill down. The hill down, there's the basketball court, and then the bigger part of the park. The top part is just like a smaller kind of version of like a parking lot / basketball court. And then so I would park right like on the inside of the hill. Because, like, if you're a police officer and you driving and you circling around and you just circle at the top of the hill, you don't see us. So I'll be parked there, and that'll be my go-to in high school. But that would have been like looking back on that. Oh man, it would have been over with. At an elementary school.
Yeah, I was gonna say them charges is. I mean, you probably would have. It wouldn't have been so bad because you was a minor. But like, if you was an adult and you got caught at elementary school, like,
I mean, if you 18.
Oh yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you 18, was you 18?
I was doing this in a car, bro. So I was like, I didn't get my license to 17.
Oh, got you. Yeah, nah. That definitely could have went sideways for sure. If you got caught,
I got caught in off of Bear Parkway in Kennesaw.
Where at over there?
It was in a parking lot of like a red roof.
Why didn't you just book? You was at the hotel.
18, bro. Like, I'm living on $200 every 2 weeks from Zaxby's, bro.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I was gonna say you went to the. Yeah, you probably. You gotta find, I guess, like an abandoned restaurant or something like that. Like somewhere that
you're not thinking about all this when you're 18, bro. Like,
oh man, I did a lot of. I mean, I still do stupid stuff now, but I did much more stupid stuff when I was 18. Yeah, for sure.
No, facts. Yeah, it's that little stuff you don't think about until in hindsight, until it is in hindsight. But yeah, when you're 18, 19, 20, it's just like whatever,
Bro, I had a video about this. Hold on, that I wanted to pull up because it was, oh man, it was great, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think it's okay. Here it is. It's a baby, and they're allowing the baby to struggle picking up, trying to figure out a way to carry both of the little carts. And they said this is great for the baby's like confidence and just skill building from an early age. And it was Zendaya's birthday earlier this week. So I went on my channel and I like told the story about Zendaya and stuff like that, how it's like a Zendaya sin. And a lot of that stuff, every time I look back at it, like the tweets, it's just like the most cringeworthy stuff like you humanly possible. And like I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. But it's like at the time, the first time my mom let me like off the porch, going to places by myself or with friends, not with a family member, or cousin, or big brother or sister or anybody like that, was like junior year going to the basketball games. And it was like with Mo and stuff like that. And then, obviously by senior year, by the end of senior year, I was kind of like a little more comfortable, everything socially. So it was like, that was the first time of me coming out of my cocoon, my junior year of high school. I'm 16 years old. So at this time of like doing all the cringe stuff with Zendaya, I'm 17, 18, 19. I'm only 3 years out of like interacting and being social for the first time ever in my life. Everything else was sheltered the first 16 years of life. So it's like I was 3 years old. So I say all this to say you need those moments of infancy, regardless of whatever part it is in your life, to kind of stumble your head and do stupid stuff to learn of like how to do stuff.
Nah, that's a fact, bro.
Yeah, even like when you was talking about being 16, like I know it's kind of a different topic, but just thinking about the age thing, it just made me think about like when you got like them 40, 45-year-old dudes that be dating like 19, 20-year-olds. Like it's technically, obviously it's not illegal, but it's like that person, especially if it's like a 19, 18-year-old, it's like, bro, that person 2-3 years ago was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like this clearly, I don't know. It's like it's a slippery slope when it comes to that. I just for some reason when you was talking about teenager like that, it just brought my brain to that. But yeah, no, you definitely like. I regret deleting my old Twitter because my Twitter that I had from like 2000. I had that Twitter from like 2011 to like 2017, which is like age 16 to basically like 22 for me. It's like a whole era of my life that I documented on there is just gone because I deleted it when I was 22. I wish I had that just so I could see my old tweets.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I agree. That's why, for me, sometimes it's interesting as now that I've gotten older and you interact with women who are younger, like let's say in their early 20s and whatnot. And that's why, like, it's so much of because you met so many girls that just like her already. And she doesn't know that. She feels like, who she is original and, they don't understand that, yo, I've met you 10 times over. Like, I know I don't know you exactly, but it's like, I kind of have a good idea of what you feeling, what's going to kind of put me in position with certain things you probably never heard before that's going to sound good in this moment, but some guys, they thrive off of that because once you get older, if you ain't really got no game, then, only the girls who are younger, they're the only ones that are going to be able to, that you're going to be able to attract. And, it's crazy. I remember when I was in my early 20s, I had met some guys who, like, just various different men who were like over like 35. And you realize it's like, man, if you don't learn how to get women or you don't really know, like have a girl or, you just don't really know, you never really got that part by a certain age, then those men just turn weird, bro. Because then it's like you at the age where if you're not finna go for the younger girls, then you're gonna, you lose patience as you get older with certain stuff. So it's like I'm not finna sit here and really take this time with this. It's just like, what's up? Like, what you trying to do? And or they have no patience where it's just like, well, shoot, let's go find some prostitutes. So it's interesting. I feel like that's the thing one thing I learned when I was younger, and I don't have no girl now, but I feel, knock on wood, I confidently feel, shoot, that's not the route that I'm heading, where it's like as you get older, you just turn weird because it's like, I don't know, you just never really figured that part out, how to really talk to girls, how to really like be smooth and have pickup, not even pickup lines, but just have game, and yeah, so, but I don't know. One thing I do think about though, I'm like, man, I think we kind of spoke about this before, but like, about like having kids and all that. And I'm like, I don't know when that point's going to come. And I'm like, man, as time goes on, I don't want to be like what's it, Maul, from like Rory and Maul. Cause it's funny, you'll listen to the pod and he'll talk about, yeah, I don't have kids yet. I'm like, my boy, you're like 45. And the way you talk, it's like you don't even want no relationship no time soon. It's like you finna pop out with a kid like 50. But I think about that in the sense of like I went to for Labor Day, kicking it with some of my friends, that like E and Isaiah and all them, and a lot of them have have relationships now, and so they have their relationships, and then it was really a glimpse into like, bruh, this this is what the future is looking like. Where, because I know some of those couples are either married or they're going to get married, So I'm like, y'all are eventually going to get married. Y'all going to have kids and all that stuff. And I'm like, am I just going to be that one friend that's, the bachelor of the group? It's like, oh, you see in the movies, it's like, Maurice, why don't you ever settle down, find you a good girl, blah, 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 And I don't know, man. I be thinking about that. That's just one thing I think about for myself. I'm like, when am I going to settle down for real? Because we getting older, man.
You're gonna be Terrence Howard in The Best Man.
Yeah, like, bro, like that. I could think of like at least like 3-4 movies where that's a stereotypical, black man that's older, that is still out here just enjoying himself, but I'm like, right now, man, like I would love to find, the love of my life, but it's kind of like, man, I ain't finna force it though.
This was interesting. Oh, go ahead, Jelani. Go ahead, Jelani.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I'm kind of torn between both, because like I definitely feel like I'm still relatively young enough that I feel like I got a few more years of like being outside left in me, but at the same time, I wouldn't be mad at all, like if I got a girlfriend in the near future, just because it's like it's so crazy out here that you might just be better off, you know what I'm saying, like that. But it's just realistically, like, do I think I'm gonna meet a woman right now at 29, about to be 30 years old, that I'm gonna stay with for the rest of my life, especially when I'm not even like close to being where I want to be, like having my life established? Like I doubt it for like the near future, but maybe down the line, like late 30s, maybe around that time, mid to late 30s, I can see it happening.
No, facts.
Abra and Preach were talking about this. That's their name, right, Mo? I know I asked the same question last episode, but yeah, they were talking about it. It was like a 32-year-old man, and I think he was crying in the video. He's like, I love, and they were just like, at 32, you know what you were doing. You made some decisions over the course of the years to not be married, bro. Like when you get to a certain age, like, and I know for a fact how many times I made the intentional choice over the years to be single. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I think now, probably like the last 2-3 years, it's been feeling like, dang, like the options are kind of drying out. Like, it's like, she's being taken, or this didn't work out, and I burned this bridge, and she cool with them. You feel like yeah, it's looking kind of crazy. But then you look back, shoot, how was I moving when I was 22? I was like, I ain't trying to get in nothing serious. I'm not committing to anybody. That's just how I was moving, bruh. And I have a lot of those tendencies, because it's like, I feel like if it don't feel the way that it's felt with certain people before, and it's felt that way with recent people in recent years, and things just didn't work out with them. I usually my honesty can kind of like turn people away sometimes, but I don't want to compromise who I am for the sake of. But then it's like, at a certain age, do I need to compromise a bit of who I am, just a tad bit compromise, to get, you know what I'm saying, the family? I don't know. So, like you guys said, it's a confusing thing. I do not know. I haven't figured it out.
No, I agree with that because there's definitely, realistically, I know if I really wanted to, I could have. It's a few women that I know I could have really locked in with, and you know, and I know how to be a good boyfriend. I know how to be a good partner to where it can develop into that point. But it's like, man, sometimes for me personally, I don't really feel like I've like felt that feeling, like none of the girls. I look back on it and like I'll say the girl that I was in a relationship with for 6 years, I definitely felt. I think in the beginning I felt like a love for her, but then there were things that kind of slowly diminished that, and so it's just kind of after so long, it just kind of in hindsight, I do sometimes think about like, okay, we did have good times, but most I think mostly of how it ended, and the ending was like, yeah, I needed to let this go. This wasn't meant to be X, Y, and Z. But but then with a lot of other girls, it just be like, I don't know, I just don't be feeling that true like, oh man, this is the one, and so that's why I would love to come across that, but at the same time, I'm not finna. You said, we're compromising. I don't want to come across just somebody that's like, you give me somewhat of that feeling, It's like, nah, if I don't necessarily feel it for real, then, you know, I just don't feel it, And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. Like at this point, I've never truly envisioned myself getting married to any of the women that I've been with up to this point, So, but hey, it is what it is, man. I'll be the cool uncle.
Yeah, I mean, I've had I would say I had one realistically where like if I had my shit more together, I definitely think that we could have. I ain't saying it could have been like marriage or nothing like that, but it definitely could have been like a long term relationship. Just because even with me not having my shit together, that person gave me several different chances. You know what I'm saying? So like if I did have my shit right, I know for sure that because I was like 25, 26 around this time, so I probably could have. It could have been something serious, but um, it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know. It's fascinating now because like now that y'all already are 30, but I'm about to be 30. Like now that starting my 30s off, it's like with the women our age, it's like either they're looking to get married or looking to get something serious long term, or they've already been in something serious long term for their whole 20s, and now they out and they outside, like they're trying to have fun. It's like it's not really no in between right now. It's like either they looking for the long term or they looking for completely short term right now.
No, facts. That is one thing about dating right now. Sometimes it's like, man, I don't know if I really want this to be as serious, And as you said, a lot of these women are looking for, they're like, I'm dating with intentions to get married and all the X, Y, and Z. It's like, fam, I just want to, like, let's just link. Let's see where the vibe takes us.
Yeah, it's cool to just have like a smooth like 2 to 3 month relationship with somebody. I think I like it ain't gotta be anything more than that. Like I don't know, maybe that's like a modern take on it. Maybe I just feel like those are fun. Like just messing with somebody for a good 6 to 8 weeks. Like nothing more than that.
Now, I've always been a lover boy, so it's always been since I was 18, started dating and stuff like that. It's always been I see a future with this person. um, the reason why I ended my first relationship was like just because I always had this American Pie fantasy of college, and so I was like, I don't want to miss out on that because I have a girlfriend back home. So I was like, I'm gonna live that lifestyle and then come back a year later. And I was like, you love me? And she's like, yeah. I was like, if it's true love, you'll still be here next year. And she's like, that's true. And boy, 2 weeks later, she said, "Stop calling my phone, please. Remember the dude I told you not to worry about? Well, we started dating." And I was like, "You told me not to worry about him." And then a couple years later, she got pregnant. Then she got married, a whole nother dude. I was like, "Oh, that's crazy." And shout out to her and her family. They just run around with a bunch of kids right now, but they thriving in their careers.
Okay.
Yo, listen, I've been there, bro. I've been there, man. No, it's crazy. Like when you like when you find out when you find out that like a girl you still care about from the past is like from social media. Like they got a family now. Like they happened to me on like Valentine's Day a few years ago. A girl that I feel like I probably told this story on here too, but like this is a girl we had dated for like a few months in 2020. We stopped talking for a while. And I didn't have like when we dated, I didn't know her Instagram or nothing like that. So I ended up finding it like on Valentine's Day, and I was going through her stuff, and like find out that she was pregnant that day. So I can relate to where you're coming from. You know,
It's a crazy experience, but I say all that to say like, I mean, there are times where I'm like, we could be cool, we could be on some casual stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? And now I've kind of like matured to the point of like, if we on some casual stuff, let's keep it non-physical for real. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling, kicking it with each other. Someone to keep me company, someone to call, everything like that. That's kind of where I'm at with it, because when I was doing let's keep it casual and then keep it physical at the same time, I think that's when I was like, I don't know. It was too much for me. Like I was just stacking up too much. You know what I mean? Like, cause I don't know. I believe in soul ties and spirits and all that stuff. So I just felt like I was just starting to kind of get really messy with that stuff. So I was like, okay, I could do the casual thing still, but we're not doing no physical unless like I'm really locked in with you. Or unless you just like our common understanding is this is exclusively physical. Like we don't even, you know what I'm saying, care about each other as people much.
No, facts.
yeah, those are cool too. Those can get awkward a little bit though, like because then it. I feel like the lines get blurred a lot of times from at least one of the people, like either the guy or the girl. At a certain point, it's like because I feel like you can only do that for so long, especially if y'all
Yeah, for sure.
if
You
it's
can
like
only do it
if,
for so long.
if it's really getting crazy, it's like all right, yo, like how often can you eat somebody's ass and then be like, yo, it's just casual. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing really casual about that after a certain point.
That's a fact. Cause yeah, now y'all cuddled up and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah, nah, that's the worst when I've definitely been that where you're dealing with a girl and it's like this is not supposed to be all that, and then they want to, as you said with the cuddles and stuff, it's like all right, now this just feels like too much. Hey, but I done been there too. I definitely did that. I I had hooked up with a girl one time and then I don't know, like I went over to reach around for like the little, for the spoon, and yeah, she was just like, no, don't do that. I was like, oh, damn, my bad. Okay, let me go ahead and like dip on out there.
That's real though. I appreciate that because that jump, bro. Like, bro, I'm thinking about that time, man. Freaking, you know what I'm saying? And my thing, I don't want to get too specific with stories because my stories are very specific and stuff. Uh, it was recently in the last few months, and y'all already know about this because I told y'all. But it was just crazy, man. Where like I invited someone out to where I was going because I didn't want to be, you know what I'm saying, by myself. And I was like, I feel like I might be by myself out here. But we ain't had none serious going on. They want nothing going on. Like it was something where I met them a few months ago, and it was like, okay, this could turn into something. But afterwards, I was like, I ain't really feeling it, and I just, wasn't communicating as much. Like we only talk, like we ain't talking months at this point. So it's kind of like random when I hit them up and like, hey, you want to come out here with me to this thing? There's like, yeah. I was like, okay, if you can find a way, you just stay with me. So okay, bet. But it wasn't nothing physical. You know what I'm saying? It's really just on some like, you come here, keep me company, and I have someone around here because I'm not from this side of the country, right? But then I run into some fine work. And now the fine work, we develop a whole connection because old girl, you know what I'm saying? She over where she at, and I'm over here with the fine work all day. The next day come, and now old girl that come with me, home girl, she like, oh, you brought me out here. We need to spend time. I'm like, it's cool. I promise it's cool. Man, she come with me, man. She stuck on me. And then especially when she seen that I was talking to fine work and we developed a little friendship from the day before. Now she on me like a guard, bro. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. She messed it all up, dude. She messed it all up. And so I say with that, bro, to be honest, blurred lines is not even worth it, bro. Situationships is not worth it. So to go back to Jelani's earlier point of like, sometimes the 3 to 6 weeks is no. If it ain't the serious, we locked all the way in and we got the end goal of marriage, keep it away from me, bro, to be honest. Because I don't need you getting jealous and you're not even my girl. You're not even my girl. You getting jealous over someone and now you cop blocking. Like, no, what part of the game plan is that? Ain't no.
Facts. Well, it wasn't a similar situation. It was somewhat, but like when the last this one girl that was like, it was known that I had a girl, and she pretty much agreed to be my side chick. And because she found out I had a girl, and then she was just like, I guess she'd been a side chick before, so she was like, I'm just tired of being in these situations, blah blah blah. I was like, I bet. I was a little blown because I was like, I kind of rock with you, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just keep it a buck. But I was like, it is what it is. But then she ended up kind of like, we at work together, so she came back around, and crazy. I feel like, cause then eventually she'll just like, yo, and I think I mentioned this on the pod where the girl had said pretty much straight up like, what you doing to her messed up, but just as long as you treat me right, I don't care. And I was like, oh, all right, I bet, I ain't never heard nothing like this before. But throughout the time that we continued to link, I could slowly feel, and like looking back on it in hindsight, I'm like, I think this girl was trying to make me her boyfriend, and I think she was just like, I'm just finna outwork your girl now, where it's like, what you doing is like, as I said, what you doing to her is messed up, but you treat me right in this moment, so I'm finna just go all out. And she did, she was lit. I rock with her for real. But and one of the crazy thing is, we talk about like connections and stuff. I felt like I had a really good connection with that girl. Like, but it's just, I'm like, how can I sit here and take a girl seriously under these circumstances? It's tough for me to want to really take you seriously when I know you over here, you shiesty, It's like you literally trying to take a dude from another woman when you know that the circumstances. But at the same time, and then add on to that, bruh, it was this one dude at my job that was hating on me so hard, bro, at that time. He wanted that girl so bad. And so he's the one who outed that I had a girl. He used to bring it up all the time. Like, because he's the one who initially brought it up. And then from there, will always bring it up, especially around that girl. And it'll just be like, the girl at that point, after a point, was like, I don't care. But it'd just be like, yeah, like, oh, yeah, Maurice, he got a girl. Maurice, he got to go home because he got his girl. It'd be like, bro, like, dog, like, okay, like, chill. But
there's always that one guy at the job that he treats all the girls like they really belong to him, like they do whatever. Like, it's just like, bro, like, if she wants to, she's going to, man. Like it's nothing that you could really do about it. You know what I mean? Like that's a nasty move right there. Trying to but that dudes definitely do that though. Dudes would definitely tell a girl like, yo, you know he got a girl at home. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a nasty move. I dirty max somebody for the first time in my life earlier this year. And
you too old for that.
It definitely was. I had to repent for my sins because it didn't work at all. Like she definitely ended up, and I feel like I deserved that. Like that was the karma that I had come because I had never in my life did that before, and I was just like, I had a light skin moment right there. I threw some dirt on somebody, and I was like, you know what, I deserve to take that L right there. I deserve that.
How'd you dirty Mac?
It was a girl I used to date. She was starting to date somebody else, but she was like tweeting about how like it was kind of iffy at the time or whatever. And I basically like I sent a message like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you ain't gotta be doing that or whatever. Something along those lines. And it was nasty. It was just bad.
Wait, I mean, you knew the dude?
Oh no. I didn't know him personally at all. No.
Did
I
you know
wouldn't
the
do
girl
that.
personally?
Yeah, it was a girl I used to date.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Now that would be crazy if I just did it to a random girl that I never had no history with.
Yeah, I mean if you did, I feel like that's all fair game.
But like I never want to throw another, even if I don't know this dude. Like I'm just, I don't know. It just felt corny. You know, like when you shoot a basketball and it leaves your hand, and it's like, oh, that's a bad shot. Like before it even hits the rim, it's like I didn't like the way that left my hand.
I DM'd this one girl before a few years ago, and I was like, "Dang, you got a man?" She was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Hey, thank you so much, but yes, I do." And I was like, "Okay, I respect it." And then I came back like 2-3 years later. I was like, "You still with him?" She was like, "LOL, no." And I was like, "Well, how you doing? My name is Rashad. This and that." Woo. She didn't respond after that. That was it. But it worked. She was laughing at it, and she was like, "Nah, I ain't with them no more." So I don't know. I feel like if you don't know him, it's fair game, bro. It is what it is, bro.
It's just the principle, like especially when it don't work, because it's like, bro, like why? That's the only. I promise. I can honestly say that that's the only time I've ever done that in my life. Like any other time, it was just like I'm not throwing no other dude under the bus, even if it's a girl I really like. Like it's just I just gotta take the L. But that was a one time thing. I had to touch the stove and get burnt on that one.
Nah, I feel that. So I've never actually dirty Mac. I don't feel, because I'm the one that always kind of, I try to play it cool, but then I just act like he not there. And then, or what I will do is, I think in a way of me, I don't know, maybe it's like a sly dirty Macking where, I'll bring him up, like, oh yeah, so what's up with your dude? And I could tell, like, I know you got a dude, or you don't, like, you got a dude, but you trying to avoid it. Then it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm finna put the pressure on it. It's just like, how much you really love him? Time to prove it. But,
Yeah, I never want to just. I don't feel like that's as bad. Like I never want to be the dude that's like, you that song like all the things your man won't do by Joe. I never want to be that type of dude.
Bro, man, look, man. I done been in some situations, bro. Like I was in bed with someone, right? And they were dating someone for like 8 years. But I'm like, at this point, like, we done made it this far, bro. Like, well, even like I wasn't even thinking about her, man, for real, because she was just like, oh, he lives here, I live here, this and that, da, 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 da. And then, so I was just like, yeah, but because she was just like, she just really taking a liking to me. And I was just like, yeah, but you got, this situation. She was like, but look, like, he hasn't even called me all weekend. Like, my phone's right here. And her phone didn't go off all week. And then, and I was like, well, like, do you love him? She was like, I mean, I've learned to play my role. And I was like, dang. All right. And that was kind of like the kind of extent of the conversation for that part of the weekend. And then like shortly after they broke up, and that was that. And yeah, I don't know. So it felt like something similar, but I mean, I was just asking the genuine, but I was wrong for being there in the first place. But they were already always out the door, in my opinion. They were already out the door.
Yeah, I mean, was you gonna say something more?
No, go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, if it's after 8 years, it's like, I mean, come on, man. Like, she basically, like, I mean, I don't know. Some people, I've noticed this. Like, there are some times when couples will they'll be together for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they'll be completely happy. They'll be in love, and then they'll get married, and they'll be divorced in like 1 year. And I find that kind of fascinating. It's almost like the marriage is almost like it's such a it's like a championship almost. It's like it's hard to it's like it's hard for couples to go back to being normal after they experience that. Like I don't know why that is, but I've seen it happen a few different times now.
No, that's a fact. It do. I don't know. I think sometimes that's when I think it puts more pressure on the relationship at times. Because I think beforehand it's just it's a different level of when you're married. I think especially a woman, or even a man probably feels like you should be doing X, Y, and Z now that we're actually married, even though maybe they've already been doing these things, but now it's more of like, it's you were doing this because you wanted to. Now it's an expectation, so I don't know. I mean, shoot, of course I've never been there, but that's what I would assume.
Yeah, I've never been there either, so I just don't know. But I do find that like I was talking to one of my homies because one of them from Valdosta, he just got engaged, and so I called him and I congratulated him. I was walking to the grocery store, so then I hung up, and then I was calling pretty much like everybody else in that group in Valdosta just to be like, "Dang man, it's crazy! Like how you been? And it's crazy that he got engaged and stuff like that because he came far away from when we was in school." And so they was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then one of them, he's married and got his first kid on the way in like a month or two. And unprovoked, I walk in the grocery store and he just starts going, "Yeah, man, just be very careful of who you marry." Mind you, I went to this man's wedding. He's like, "Be very mindful, like look at like her character, how she speaks to other people. Those things are really important, man, because it's the little things that like you don't see that it's a lot. Marriage is difficult. I'm like, dang, like, are you happy, my boy? Like and the baby on the way. So it's like you locked in, bro. Like, regardless if y'all last or not in this marriage, y'all locked together for life with this baby. So yeah, man. It's I don't know what it is about marriage. But I honestly do not know what it is because we're not married, so I don't know. But whatever it is on that invisible wall on the other side, I know one friend. He when he got divorced in his first year, it was because they had issues in their relationship, and they thought that the marriage was going to bring them closer together for some reason, and that didn't work. Like it was like she liked to go party, and he's like more of a homebody, like to stay in the crib, watch the game. So that didn't work out.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people get married just to say that they did it. Like it's almost like it's just they feel like it's not even almost if they want to do it themselves. It's like they feel like they got to do it just because they've been together for a certain amount of time, or they just want the look of, it's just the wedding, like the Instagram pictures and everything that comes with it. But the actual like, yo, we're gonna be together for the rest of our lives. I don't think people think about how long that is, bro. Especially like you get married to somebody in your early to mid 20s, like dog, that's that like that that's a real commitment, bro. Y'all gotta really, really, really love each other to be faithful to somebody for the rest of your life. If y'all live to be like, if you get married at 25 and you live to be 75, bro, that's 50 years, dog. Like that's I don't know, man. It's like I said, I don't mind doing it one day, but I don't know how realistic it would be for the rest of my life to be with one person, or for her to even want to be with me for the rest of her life too. Like she got her own life, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, you eventually like at a certain age, you what you call you get you kind of just go through it. You know, that's what I've heard from most old couples that've been together for a long time. Because me, I look at it on the other side of like my great uncle, he passed like in like when he passed, like April, maybe May. I think it might have been May. And you know, he was together with my great aunt. They like, I think my great aunt might be in her early 90s. So they were together for like 70 years, bro. And now she has to like learn life, and she's doing life without him for the first time in 70 plus years. That's the stuff that I'm just like, what the heck? That seems like a heartache that's just that's a lot. Shout out to my great aunt.
I feel like a lot of that stuff that that they used to endure in those older relationships, I don't think our generation is going to go through that though. I think, that's the thing about how we're just in such different times. And even, the generations that our parents grew up in from their parents, it's all different. And they had different ways of doing things. And it's like, I think some of the marriage advice that those older couples give to couples now, I just really don't feel like it's going to be valid in the next 30 years, Like, I don't think with all the accessibility that we have now that they didn't have back then, it's kind of like I don't feel that a lot more people in our generation are going to be like, well, shoot, if I'm not feeling this, there's this, you see somebody on Instagram or, you end up seeing a dating app or, X, Y, and Z. And then now you're going to be more willing to feel like I don't have to put up with this, if we're having disagreements and whatnot, those old relationships like in fences, like they stay together because it's what you do, I don't feel that's how a lot of relationships. I think there definitely are going to be some that are going to be like that, but I think realistically, yeah, when they get to their 50s and 60s, they're going to be like, I'm tired of you, It's not going to be the same, man. And the divorce rate is going to be a lot higher, and yeah, because especially like, the stuff that some women have to deal with, that's the main thing. A lot of relationships stayed together because the women wanted to stay together. I mean, well, the men, of course, wanted to stay together, but they were just out here doing what they wanted to do anyway, But then it's like the women were like, well, I have a household, and then you don't have as many opportunities because, you need a man, and, maybe you haven't been working for years or X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, so I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, with women too, like to the point that you were saying as far as like couples not sticking it out. Like women, I probably said this before on here too, but like women have more options than they've ever had before. So it's like if you married to a woman and let's say that you lacking a little bit, like you're not, you hit a rough patch, you might not have a job, you might be out of shape, you might be going through whatever. Obviously your wife is supposed to love you and support you, but like she is a human after a certain point. And if it stays a thing where it's like 2 to 3 years then went by and you getting fatter and you're not really advancing in your career, and she opening up Instagram and she's seeing dudes driving, Ferraris and wearing Rolexes and stuff like that. Like after a certain point, she might end up, becoming curious. Like it's a possibility that wouldn't even been an option, back in the 70s and 80s though. That wouldn't even, like you said, the accessibility wasn't there. So it's a reality of life that we in.
You got to also think about the generation that we're in where so many people love to post their problems, where whether it be just a song, you know, you post like on your story, you know, something that's relating to your relationship, which gives people that opportunity to for a guy to realize like, oh, seems like there's a little bit of trouble at home, you know? And now it's like, okay, well, shoot, let me go ahead and throw a little shot out there, you know, and like, and that's the difference where, you know, say you get in an argument with your husband and now you want to, you know, you want to delete something off the gram or, you know, just little stuff like that. There can be more of those opportunities for somebody else to come in and make it seem like the grass is greener on the other side, as opposed to, you know, you didn't know what a lot of couples were going through back in those days. They just went through what they went through, and like maybe they closest friend or whatever. But now you got people who got millions of followers, and you know, you got people like Cash Doll who's like, I'm single now, you know, but then you back with your man a couple of days because y'all had a little argument. And there's gonna be, you know, but that's how our generation is, you know. You know, a lot of these people gonna be married, and you know, it's just like I don't even know why I got married. And then you're gonna have people, you know, sliding them DMs, you know, be like, oh, everything okay at home? You know, it's just everything fine. It's just I'm a little frustrated. Oh, he frustrating you? You know, you don't deserve that, right? And next thing you know, it's like bam. Like, you know, let's meet up to grab some coffee. And hey.
You remember when Steve Harvey had that marriage advice book back in the day?
Which one?
The Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
That was platinum literature in the Black community. That book went viral in a lot of Black households. I feel like a lot of aunties and my mom, I think she even had a copy of that back in the day.
Nah,
but I'm not taking. I don't know if I want to take marriage advice from Steve Harvey. No disrespect, but like, you know,
they've been together for a minute, so you know they figured something out.
There's some wild backstory to that too, but I kind of want to get famous one day, so I'm gonna watch what I say on here, you know, just in case I do. I gotta start protecting my hypothetically, if I do get famous, I gotta start protecting my celebrity relationships.
Right,
man. That's why Steve Harvey, bro. He ain't let me in the Dreamers Academy when I was like in 10th grade or so, because they said, "Who's your role model in your life?" I said, "My father." And I think that's what did it for me, why I didn't get it. So F Steve Harvey for not letting me in the Dreamers Academy.
Why do you think because you said your father? Would you supposed to say Steve Harvey?
I think they were looking for Black youth who fit the description of more troubled, you know what I'm saying, underserved communities and things of that sort. And I think me saying that my father was my role model, they was like, oh, this kid don't need help. And it's like, no, I want to go to Disney World and learn from Stephen A. Smith. But I mean, it's not like anybody from the academy, like, you know, who tried to learn from Stephen A. Smith got jobs at ESPN immediately. So the long run, I guess I ended up where I was supposed to be all along. But I was salty about it when I was dang, you know, 15 or whatnot. You know what I mean? So F Steve Harvey for sure. Like, I don't care. I have a relationship with Steve Harvey. The next thing, what I want to say about this. So we was talking about Steve. Oh yeah. I wanted to say social media alongside social media. Here's the other side of it. Our attention spans are cooked. We are so, you know what I'm saying, dopamine kind of like fed. You're going to get bored. So it's like when you get bored, what is this generation going to look like when they get bored at 40, 50? When you've been married since 19, 20, 21, 22? Are you just going to leave to get a new dopamine hit and just get married 2-3 times? And that's like the new standard. Everybody get married 2-3 times in their life. Or is it, I don't know. I don't know what our generation is going to look at it like at 50. It's probably going to look like just more divorces than this prior generation, and that was a lot of divorces. You know what I'm saying? It seems like it's gonna be more and more divorce as time goes on, but I think a part of it with this one is gonna be because of our phones, bro. Like I'm stimulated constantly throughout the day. Like it's never a moment where I'm not being stimulated by something. Like even if I'm sitting in silence too long and I'm working, I'm gonna put on some music or put on a podcast or put on it. Like it's never a moment where I'm just sitting down doing nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the divorce rate right now is the highest than it's ever been. Like, I could be correct, but I think like right now it's I think it's like 50% of marriages end in divorce. I think I saw like a few years ago. Which I mean, it makes sense though. Say it again.
Oh, no, I was just saying it's gotta be because of like, you also think about women making money. Like women make money more than ever now too. Like it's
Yeah,
just like human progression. Like as society progresses, I think I think our societal standards change, and you know, it's just like when we're kind of, I think, hmm, you can go from Lil Kim all the way up to City Girls, like the stuff that was provocative back then with Lil Kim and Foxy Brown. City Girls made that look like child's play, and then the rappers after City Girls made City Girls look like normal church girls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this
yeah,
is the first generation of F that man, F that like just dissing men. And it become national anthems and the women sing and do the Diddy bop to it is like, the Drake thing, not like us. We all just dancing to Drake's demise and stuff. It's been like that with men. It's the first time it's ever happened. So it's like as women make more money, and the narrative is F men, men are not good people, men are not good human beings, they're not good species. And yeah, everybody's gonna leave their marriage when they want to leave because it's like, they have the opportunity more to than ever. And they got it implanted in their brain because people feeding them that information. Go ahead, Mo.
Oh, I wasn't finna say no. But I mean, nah, but I agree though. I definitely feel, we're definitely in a generation where a lot of the women now, but I feel like they love to just say that, with the
It
whole like
has declined.
the divorce rate. I think it's less marriages in general though.
Oh yeah, that's probably why.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I definitely have seen that, that less people are getting married now. Because I think, as I said, that pressure that comes with actually being legally binded, I think, I think that's another thing that you actually think about when that goes into that process of you being married, because you're actually signing paperwork and, it's literally a legally binding thing. Where as opposed to we're in a union, but it's a union that we control, so but yeah, man, I don't know.
I
Maybe
mean, my bad, Brian. You control.
no, you good, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you also got to think like it's a lot of people, that they separated, but they can't afford to get divorced right now. Like they still gotta. It's a lot of people like that that's in relationships. We're not in relationships no more. They broke up. We still got to pay the rent. I can't afford to move out and get an apartment right now. So, I remember it was a couple that like growing up, I used to be like my mom was friends with this lady, and I was like cool with her kids or whatever. It was the same thing that happened to her. They got divorced like during the recession, or they separated during the recession, but they had a house, they had a mortgage. It was like, bro, we can't afford to separate right now. So it's just like you gonna stay in your room over here. I'm gonna stay in my room, and we gonna pay these bills right now, but we can't go to the courtroom right now.
Yeah, I dealt with a shorty who is still staying with her ex at one point. That was not the best,
I was
because
say that's dangerous.
yeah, because she would come home and he would be, damn near crashing out. Cause it's like you were out all night, blah blah, like this, that, and the other. And she's like, well, I told you, well, we're broken up, I can do whatever I want. And he over here crying and all this stuff. And I'm like, do you need me to pull up? Like, you straight? Like, but yeah, I learned from that lesson though. Never again. Like, if you still staying with your ex, hit me up when you get your crib.
That's super dangerous.
What would you guys think about this? In addition to, like you guys said, less marriages. It's been confirmed by the CDC a couple months ago that this is the lowest birth rate in American history.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though, because one, I mean, there's less people. I think it's like generation by generation, like less people are having sex in general. Like that's what the stats are showing. Like there's a higher number of uh young men like not having sex on a regular basis than ever. So I mean, it makes sense also with the fact that people are poor. So it's like a lot of people don't even have their own crib to invite somebody over to have sex. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it makes total sense, and it's probably gonna keep dropping. As the years go, I don't see it picking back up.
And there's also more contraceptives.
Yeah,
right. Plan Bs and of course condoms and girls getting the little shot in their arm or and I think a lot of women have realized that birth control actually helps regulate your hormones. So there's a lot more. I don't know if this for a fact, but from what I've seen, there's a lot of women who are getting on birth control. Their doctors are recommending it just for the simple fact that it regulates your hormones. So with like and when I say like hormones, it's like it's a particular thing. I can't remember the name of it, but where some women they have like more like testosterone or something like that, and like they may be like extra hairy and stuff like that. It's a very common thing. It's just like a woman may have never really just spoke about it. But
I don't know about that one, fella.
No, it's I can look it up, bro. It's a thing because I've dealt with a girl and I've met a couple girls who have, and it's not even like no crazy, like it's nothing crazy. It's not like they're looking manly or nothing. They still look like women, but it's just harder for them to lose weight. It's harder for them to like maybe their periods are like they have stronger periods than what they normally would have. As I said, like maybe like having extra hair on their arms, like stuff like that. So yeah, so it's like it's a common thing. But as I said, getting on birth control though helps regulate that. And so I think that's where a lot of women are. So because of that, as I said, more contraceptives, there's less women having babies because like they're putting their children on birth control at a younger age now because of these different things, because they realize the benefits of it.
Also, shout out My Days. If you know, you know.
What?
The My Chart joint, the My Days.
Oh yeah. No, that's a fact. Yeah, that definitely helps because people are definitely more aware of like their cycle and everything.
I thank God that I was born a man. Like it's just I wouldn't like as a woman if I had to this is the thought of like I could have sex and I might be sidelined for like the next 9 months, like the whole next 9 months of my life might just be totally derailed. You know what I mean? Like as a guy, you could just. I mean, it's not a good thing, but like hypothetically,
I was gonna say not really. Like,
what you mean? If you get
you
pregnant,
can't. Not all the like. You not just like we doing whatever we want. Yeah, for the next 9 months, like you tie down, like you taking your girl to the to the thing, you holding her hand, she throwing up, you got to get the bucket, you got to be there every step of the way. It
That's
ain't
that's
no,
if you want to do that. If you that type of guy, some dudes ain't that type of guy.
but that's what I'm saying. So I feel like you saying, I feel bad for the girls because you sidelined for 9 months. Me, I'm gonna still be outside. It's kind of crazy.
No, I don't mean like when I say outside, like it don't have no physical effect on me. Like I can still live my life. I can still go to the gym and drink and smoke weed. Like it's no like physical restraint on me. Like I'm not gonna have to quit my job. I might take like some paternity leave when the baby get here, but like I'm not you know what I'm saying? Like it's not for a woman that really you gotta buy new clothes. It's a lot that comes with that I don't have to worry about as a guy. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yo, Rashad, the thing I was talking about was called PCOS. 1 in every 10 women has it. And then it says that about 70% of women with PCOS may go undiagnosed. Yeah, but that's what I was saying. It's like stuff like this. It's like, and as I said, a lot of women don't really like to talk about this stuff because, it's a sensitive thing for them because I said it can cause like irregular periods and stuff, and that's why some women, they have hard time like with their weight, and just different stuff like that. And it can also cause ovarian cysts, so I don't know if y'all ever met a girl who got cysts on her ovaries, but that's a common thing as well, So I think, all that stuff. But as I said, the birth control can help regulate that to where all those effects don't really, they kind of counteract it, And I think, they're getting women on birth control at earlier ages as well now too, for that simple reason,
Yeah, it's that real OBGYN talk right here. I just feel like episode to episode we broaden our horizons on like what we talk about.
Exactly, man. You gotta know, man. You gotta be in the know. But this is what, like, when I started the episode, we was talking about like, the stuff of being broken in. It's like, I think it's interesting through my experience with a lot of different women, and it's like it's a lot of little random stuff that I've learned over time that where I'm like, okay, a lot of this stuff makes more sense now. And and this is one of them that, as I said, once I learned about this, when I first heard about it, I was like, whoa, just same way like Rashad was reacting. But then I was like, but then I heard like, and then once you know about it, then you start having that discussion with other women. Then it's just like, oh, okay, this is a lot more common than I would have ever expected. I thought the shorty who I was messing with who had this, it was just like this is like a 1 in like 100 type of thing. But one in every,
but is 10% really common?
yeah, that's pretty common. If you think about, 1 in every 10. So that's pretty common and for conditions. Cause think about it, if you're in a room where, I don't know, I guess it's like, I don't know. I guess there's certain things like most like, because if you think about it in the sense that there's how many million people are in the US?
I believe it's like 400 million or 340. Okay.
Yeah, so 340 million. That means that 34 million women in this country alone has this disease. This condition.
No, that would mean if there were 340 women in the United States, 34 million women would have it.
True.
Okay, because I was thinking that too. I literally did the same math in my head first, and I was like, no, that's the overall population. But it's still a lot.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. What I want to say about this, like you said, Jelani, it was interesting to start off with Taj Boyd and end up on this. Um, I think my main thing, bro, is like it also goes back to the phone. Everything goes back to the phone and social media, like they said. It really is that dang phone. Because Jelani say this is the least intimate, you know what I'm saying, era ever. Why? What's a part of that? I think men and people in general are just more socially awkward than ever. Why is that? Because of the phone and technology. Like Aubrey Plaza said it best. It's like social media is weird because you can be talking to so many people, and then in reality, you're just sitting in a chair by yourself for 20 minutes. And that's just the reality of the situation. Like, you literally can be by yourself, but connected to so many folks. And that lack of in person connection isolates a lot of us, you know, and not just men, because I know it's a men's loneliness epidemic, but it's everybody. You know what I'm saying? So the phone, once again, the phone with in terms of our attention spans and like our interests. How long are we interested in our partners? And then the phone, once again, now with the lack of intimacy.
Yeah, no. Also, I mean, it's like it's less incentive if you're a young man to go outside. Like why am I going to the bar? I got Ruby Rose in my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all the Reddit pages, all the obviously you can't substitute that for a real woman, but like it plays a big part where it's like I just feel like a lot of men don't have the desire. Also, I've heard women talk about this too. Like a lot of women say that when they go out in public, they don't get approached by men as much as they used to, because it's a lot of
And
guys out.
that's cap. That's cap. That is so cap. I hate when women say that because I know it's cap. You know why? Because I've been in groups with women going out. It ain't no shortage of nothing, bro. No, when women say that, they mean it's a shortage in men that they're interested in approaching them. They have to stop that, bro. Yes, Rashad going full red pill with this. Yes, because I'm tired of women saying that. It's like men saying the men loneliness thing or whatever, and it's just like, no, you're just literally a jerk to women because you've been fed this content that you consume, whatever, and you have this rhetoric in your mind. So you go into perceived connotation, and so you speak to women this way, and it turns women away. And then there's another thing of like where you're looking for, like you say, you got Ruby Rose on my phone. If she don't look like Ruby Rose, I don't want to. And it's the same thing with women. It's like, no, men approach you. Men approach everything. Men approach. Man, look, in 2025, men still approach women, bro. Men approach women even if they internet dude for the sake of their content. They got on the little Ray-Ban glasses recording you. Hey, baby girl, and then they post it. L Riz or W Riz. Men approach women. It's
I
just a
mean,
matter of fact of the men that the women want aren't approaching them at the rate that they like. That's what's going on.
nah, because I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit because I think men are approaching women, but when they say, like, to Jelani point, not as much as it used to be. Because I think about if this was my early back in 2013, 2014, 2015, when you'll go out and you'll see women dancing, have a good time, and then you'll have the opportunity to dance with her, and as opposed to her just dancing on her friends, you know, you would have way more opportunity. You'll feel more comfortable going to that woman and being like, let me get your number, you know? And especially when they're all grouped up, they're just sitting there dancing on each other or whatnot. It's not going to, you don't feel comfortable going up to the group, you know, trying to single that one out. Cause they'll always be in groups, but now it's like the group is acting a little more stuck up. Cause it's like, you know, we just out here trying to dance. Why you guys always here trying to ruin the vibe? Blah blah blah. So I'll say it's a mutual thing where I think women, they're not as approachable as they used to be. Just to be honest.
I agree with that. F, by the way, A-N-M. I ain't gonna say the name. I'm gonna give the initials though, because we at that point of the podcast. I already said F Steve Harvey. It's F everybody. The ops, you either with us or you against us. And I look back at that situation. I'm like, okay, maybe folks was just a bit socially awkward. Maybe they deal with anxiety. Maybe they deal with this and that. And they know that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to come. When you see me, I'm going to say, hey, how you doing? What's up? Da, 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 da. And you didn't want to deal with that because you socially awkward and you're dealing with the anxiety of just being out by yourself. I get it. But still, F you. If you ain't for us, you against us. F you. And it's F you for life.
Yeah, it's coming like that.
Nah, I feel it,
F
man.
B Harvey, F Coach Prime, F. I'm joking. Shout out, Coach. But I don't rock with Coach. Coach don't rock with me, so it is what it is. But I ain't rooting against no black people like no white people. My problems with them, they know it's personal. So like, I ain't rooting against I didn't celebrate when Shiloh got cut. You know, I ain't go yes. You know, that was not my reaction.
Hey, but Rashad, you know, you're a God-fearing man, and the Bible teaches us, Jesus specifically taught us that, you know, you should have the same love for your enemies as your neighbors. Because what makes you any better if you only converse with a person that you like as opposed to a person that you don't? You know,
Oh
it's like
no, for sure. Like I say, like I don't. It's a difference, and I felt like where I learned this was Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, because I didn't really like Angel Reese too much at LSU, but like when that race stuff came into play, I was like, oh no, we not doing that, and it was like. And when the Dion stuff happened too, and I started seeing what white people were saying about Dion and the family and stuff, I'm like, nah, I can't co-sign that, not at all, because I saw the difference in what it was of like, I got problems with it. I don't like what this person does versus like it's personal with me. And I don't think it was ever personal with those situations. So I mean, like I say, like Coach Prime and them jokers, they do something well. Salute to them, everything like that. I'll be the first one, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Coach Prime. Congratulations to them folks. Boo. If something happens here, congratulations to them folks. And I'll be on the front lines for Angel Reese a lot of the time now. And it's not just because I'm an Angel Reese fan, it's just like I'm anti-racism. And them white folks be racist about Angel Reese. I ain't playing that. No, we not. I ain't doing that. At the end of the day, I'm for black people, whether or not we got problems or not. So, like great example, Malika Andrews. When people started turning on Malika Andrews a few years ago and said she sets up black players and she doesn't like black players and black people, I came out and said, leave Malika Andrews alone. You know, I came out and said that. That was at the peak of me not rocking with Malika Andrews. You know what I'm saying? Because a situation how I felt when we interacted a few years ago, I felt like she did me flaw and she tried to play me. And so unnecessarily, like unprovoked, she, you know, tried to play me or whatever. And so I won't rock with her at the time. But when it came down to the white people saying something, oh yeah, no, we not doing that to Malika. So it's the same thing, you know, with Homegirl, you know what I'm saying? Like if it came down to it, white folks talking about her, or you know, creeps talking about her as well, because that's the thing too. I told her when we was talking, when we were on quote unquote good terms, when she had a creep, I said F him. And then, you know, I was like, we not rocking with that, we rocking with you. She said, I appreciate that so much, and she was laughing or whatever. But it remains that, and there'll always be that with hate and creeps and stuff like that, with real hate, real creeps. But on the petty levels, yeah, nah, it's you the ops for sure. You the ops for sure. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's like within our own community, you the ops. But to the outside world, at the end of the day, we all black. We all on the same team. I'm rooting for everybody black.
But you know, but that also goes into, you know, not only like having love for only black people. You know, you got to have love for everybody, man.
Oh yeah, nah. That's sure. I'm joking. I mean, shout out to the white folks, but like I'm for blacks. Yeah, for sure. I'm for blacks first.
Yeah, no, I feel that, bro. I'm definitely for black first. It's just one of those things that, like, as I I've been doing a lot more Bible studies, and like I do a Bible study 3 times a week now. Um, and it's just like getting into the word more. It's just you really in really understanding the word, and it talks about that, and that's something that I personally been having to work on. Where I'm like, I don't want to feel any ill will towards anybody, because it's like that's the stuff that separates a godly person, a person who's going to enter the kingdom of heaven, and so
Yeah, I've been dropped that when Kobe died. When Kobe died, I dropped that expeditiously. So everything else since then, it ain't no real hate to anybody for real, for real. I
yeah,
used to hate people, but I don't hate nobody for real no more.
yeah, no, that's good, man. I just want to, hey, as a God fearing man, I gotta hold my brothers to to the standard that Jesus wants us to live by.
No, 100%. I remember it was Candace Parker when she was going back and forth with Angel Reese. When Angel Reese was, throwing shade at her, I'm like, if I'm Angel Reese, I'm going with, what I'm saying, with respect, bro. Like, regardless of what they say, like, you just keep doing your thing. If you acknowledge this person, honored them before, still keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't switch up too much. Just because they speaking down on you, you shouldn't treat them any differently just because of how they treating you. And people in the comments was like, take your own advice. She should da 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 da. They don't even. I'm like, that's how I move, bro. That's how I move, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think a great example was being like, I'm not gonna be like, Deion is not a top 3 cornerback. You know how Isaiah Thomas be like, Michael Jordan ain't a top 3 player of all time. He more like number 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
Isaiah Thomas just be saying stuff like that. Like, I don't feel that way about nobody to the point where it's going, you know what I'm saying? Something obvious like that, I'm going to just say something because I hate you. It's personal. I don't feel that way about nobody for sure. And that's definitely the way I carry myself. I think the thing that I'm dealing with now is anger. You know what I'm saying? Because another Bible study on YouTube that I joined last week, and I'll be going again this week. I think her channel is called like The Secret Place or whatever. But yeah, she it was anger is she was like, okay, you might have lust down, right? Like you ain't, whooping, you ain't messing with nobody, and you ain't beating your meter. But you quick to anger, or you get angry, you let other people, you know what I'm saying, get you riled up. That's something you got to check. I'm like, that's for sure something I'm trying to work on checking, you know what I'm saying? Because I did I know this long-winded, but I had to finish it off. Pause. Of like I did an interview, 45 minutes with bro, and it was a activist. I lost his son. Mo Jimmy Hill. 45 minutes. We talking about positive things. I just came off doing like my lives and everything, and I'm uploading segments. It's just more fun stuff. And Cardi B said this, did it? Yeah, Kendrick. He said this about Kendrick. Did that? I'm uploading all those, but I'm doing real serious work, like the most serious thing I've done that week. 45-minute conversation talking about the Black community, the justice system in Atlanta and Fulton County, Fonnie Willis, and how she's corrupt, and how all these local politicians. Real important stuff. I get off, and I see the comment on like the Glasses Malone Kendrick video, and someone was like, save the disclaimer about not being tough, my guy. It comes off as weird. I'm like, who is you talking? You don't even know what you're talking. And I was riled up for 20 minutes after that. Because it's like, I'm putting in all this work. I'm doing positive things, stuff that no other Black person is doing, you know what I'm saying, in the space that's reporting on the stuff I'm reporting on. And this is what you want to talk to me about. This is what you want to comment on and hate on. And that pissed me off about 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, Rashad, like I had to like apologize, you know what I'm saying, to God. I had to repent because, I pray before every live to give me the patience to deal with the comments, whether in the live or in the replays. So that's definitely something that I'm working on, is anger. And, definitely something that other people should kind of keep a track on, is that anger.
Nah, facts.
Yeah, no, for me, I feel like I'm not like a super angry person, but for me, I definitely I feel like I'm trying to control like how I react in moments when I feel dis. I'm not like super violent, but just like I feel like naturally as a man, there's certain times when you just it's like a certain level of disrespect, like you don't really want to tolerate, and you want to take it to be physical after a certain point. But I definitely want to become more disciplined where I can't let certain stuff even get to me. You know what I'm saying? Even whatever little stuff does get to me, like where I can just walk away from certain stuff and ignoring it. So yeah, we definitely all got like our personal stuff that we working on for sure.
Nah, facts. Yo, so real quick, we getting up there in time. Just want to ask, so who's your big three in for women rap?
All time or like are just our personal favorite.
I guess the big three currently, because have y'all seen the discussion talking about pretty much? Do you think Glorilla is in the big three or is it Meg?
Glorilla been for me. I mean, Meg might be a bigger star, but like I feel like Glorilla made more hits in the last few years than Meg has. Like Meg, I don't know it ain't all about hits, but like I don't know. I feel like Glorilla's probably made better music in the last few years than Meg has to me.
Yeah, nah, I agree, and I think you know I personally it's interesting because I think I don't know if it's a recency bias, but I just feel like Glorilla's music. I have enjoyed her music overall more than I have ever really enjoyed Meg. I think Meg has had some good songs. No, like don't get me wrong, like she has hits, but it's just with Glorilla, it just feels like I don't know, like she has more. Like
Yeah,
but as I said, like I can't really go back to think of all the songs, and it's been so long since Meg's real peak. But I think that's a weird thing though. I think because of the Tory Lanez case, that has put her in a echelon where I think she gets a lot of support that's beyond music now, where Glorilla is, still just mainly the support of the music. It's like we enjoy her music. So, but Meg don't really like. I think it just goes beyond that for Meg now, and that's why a lot of people, they say that Meg is in that top three. But I just feel like if we're just being honest, I'm like her run. I feel really ended like 2021, and then she still made good songs since then, but I don't think there's a lot of artists that we would give that same credence to, because it'd be different if she was just like banger after banger after banger since then still. But it's like after about 2020 2021, she's had like maybe like two more hits, like two more really good, I guess maybe three, because I'll say WAP.
mm.
There was that Mamushi song, and then it was another song that I was thinking about. I can't think of right now. Uh I cannot remember.
Savage.
Now Savage
That was
was
like 2019, like
yeah.
could have been like
Well,
2019.
you said WAP. I felt like Savage was around the same time.
It was like 2020.
I'm trying to think.
Pandemic music, quarantine music.
Facts.
Casamigos music.
Before we get too deep into it, what was you were you going to say something about this verse?
Oh no, it was literally just us talking about anger. That was it. So I just pulled up the verse. It was verse James 1, verse 18 through 20. This is the NIV version. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we may be kind of fish fruits of all he created. 19 and 20. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. And obviously, that is just saying be chill, bro. And
Right.
don't be so quick to anger, because I'd definitely be quick to anger for sure.
Nah, facts.
No, it's real.
So who is the other two, by the way? Is it just Cardi and Nicki?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at them two, like, you know how with the big three is for men, Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. People
Mhm.
don't say, Kanye and Jay-Z is kind of, because it's kind of just inferred, like that's like a different generation, like they're already solidified. So for the new school, this is the big three, right? That's
Right.
how I look at it.
Yeah,
So
so my
if
bad,
we
bro.
doing no, I'm saying, so if we doing that with women, I feel like it's got to be a completely just a whole just new big three. This is not my big three, by the way. It's just a picture of three women rappers from the new school. I would say if we doing that based off of those rules and regulations of Kendrick, Cole, Drake, I would say, even though Cardi is like relatively new compared to Nicki, Glow, Sexy Red, and then Lotto.
Yeah, I was say you got to put Lotto in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd have Cardi, Lotto, and Glorilla. I would say. I mean, we not including Nicki. Like she's like the Jay-Z of women rappers at this point. Like, or at least to me, at least she's definitely the great. I mean, in my opinion, I think she's the greatest woman rapper of all time. But like,
It's not even close. It's not.
yeah,
She's right
exactly.
up there. She's the
Yeah,
queen.
I think it's undisputed by this point. So yeah, I would say, yeah, for me, I'd say Meg, not Meg, Lotto. Lotto might be number one, low key. Like as far as consistency and rapping ability,
Right.
I know she'd be having like Drake definitely helped her write a little bit of her last album, but for the most part, I think she writes her own raps.
Yeah, nah, Lotto hard, bro. Like I think Lotto is really good. And that's why, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Cardi, Lotto, and Glorilla. And I think with Cardi, if I don't know, she's kind of hers is kind of a legacy thing too. If I'm gonna make that comment about Meg, because I think since her album dropped, she had WAP and she had
She had up. She didn't have
yeah.
some hits since the album. She
Oh
I
yeah,
think
and then she did drop that. Okay, actually, nah, yeah, cause I put Cardi still in there, cause
No, Up was like, dang, 2019.
Up was like 2021. I could be
If it's
I could be
up,
wrong.
then it's up, then it's stuck. Man, get that,
no, but
man.
No,
I
it's
was gonna say because of her features though. Her features every time she
Oh,
dropped.
of the I'ma send in butterfly. I'ma look good as I'ma send her something. See my op, I had to look her up.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
I
was
ain't
a
gonna
little
lie, she snapped on that one. I
even
got a trick good.
the Bruno Mars you got me dripping in fun. Like
Yeah.
she didn't have some hits since the out
She
like
did her thing on the I'm trying to fuck to the slut, man. I'm trying to you know that one.
right.
That
yeah
one.
Nah,
She snapped on that one.
now,
Too.
fact, and that's why I was gonna say I like with Cardi when she does drop, every time it goes up, it goes crazy.
Cap.
Okay, what other than the second song that she dropped with Meg?
yeah
I was about to say bongos first.
Yeah, flop.
The last joint she dropped,
Which the Imaginary
Imaginary
Players? I mean,
It's
yeah,
been quiet. Cardi's tried to roll out this album like 3 times before, and every single time it flopped.
yeah.
It's still gonna do some good numbers, but you right, the rollout hasn't been the smoothest rollout at all.
But they said because some of the stuff got leaked, that's why she's having to drop some of this stuff. Like,
But the leaks ain't pop. With Playboy Cardi, when his stuff leaked, a couple of them leaks gonna be hits.
facts. But I think but I feel with her, like with with her, some of the stuff that when it leaks, it throws off what she had planned. Like maybe she wanted to put a whole strategy behind some of these songs that might have went a little bit better, like the outside song that she got, like I heard that was a leak, and then it was just like, since it leaked, I guess you're going to drop it now, as opposed to, all right, we wanted to shoot a video with this and X, Y, and Z. So I think that's some of her issue. But I think the rollout for this album hasn't been the best, as you said. But I don't know. I think and I guess right now, technically Sexy would be, I don't know. I feel like she ain't, none of the stuff that she's been dropping recently.
She's starting to cool off. Lotto low key is like her last undeniable is Brokey.
Nah, Big Mama.
That was like last year.
Same album.
That wasn't that long ago. That was like last year.
What you gonna do for my birthday? That wasn't on
Big
that
Mama.
album.
That same album.
I don't think Big Mama's on that album.
Big Mama. That's why it's such a good album. She got some hits on that joint.
Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, well, yeah, that was just last year though.
But what was the other one that I really need somebody?
Oh yeah, that one.
That was a good song.
But did that one hit? Like they play Brokey still. Like when Lotto comes in the club, what's the first song they play? Brokey.
No,
they don't play I Really Need Some, but they don't play that.
Yeah, that's more so like a TikTok type of song.
Yeah, I mean, I think girls still like that song, but
and then this Ice Spice joint ain't going.
I was just finna, bro. I don't know about that. It's starting. It's doing good numbers, bro. I seen a lot of people tweeting about it today, mostly because of the video, but it was getting a lot of press.
No, facts. But okay, but that brings me to my original point. Is Meg in there?
Not for me, no.
Oh, Meg last hit was like Meg don't even drop. She don't even drop. She ain't been on no features. Meg being like darn near retired. She Cardi B status to me.
She's a brand at this point. There's nothing wrong with that, but she's like she's a brand at this point. Like she's gonna keep endorsement deals. She'll, even if her album don't do crazy sales, she'll at least have one or two songs that like do relatively well, or she'll have a feature every now and then. Like, but she is mostly a brand at this point.
No, facts. Yeah, but that's why it's interesting. Like when I saw the whole discussion about, there was like when they were saying Glorilla's in the top 3 now, and people, like, I'm looking at the comments and people are like, nah, Meg is definitely in the top 3. Meg is definitely there, and I'm like, I don't see it, but that's why it's just interesting. I think it's her persona, and then also she is, as I said, she had made herself the poster child for, like, I guess in a sense, domestic violence, where,
Megan Thee Stallion is a basketball wife.
Well, I mean, yeah, now. Yeah. I mean, and she's also bad, but but I think, that's where a lot of people, like, they feel like we ride for Megan because of everything she's been through. And all the people talk about they don't believe her and this, that, and the other. And, it's like, so I think that's where it comes from. But yeah, I just want to hear y'all thoughts on that. Cause I was like, when I saw that discussion, I was like, how y'all gonna really put like Meg over Glorilla right now? I'm like, Glorilla's been on a run for like 2-3 years straight, and this
features too.
Yeah, like she been going crazy every time.
Like y'all was talking about Cardi B features, like y'all say Cardi's singles ain't hit, but her features have hit. Glorilla's hit on every feature and single. Ever since the Cha Cha Cha, ever since then, Glo ain't missed, bro. Right. I think passing that saying this ain't it motivated her, bro. Hopefully he do the same to Drake. Cause man, look. But
did you watch that last night?
I didn't watch the full thing. I saw I saw it. I heard some of the songs. The Yee song was cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, at this point, I'm just waiting for the full album to come out. Like, I'm not really, I don't even want to piece together the snippets, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't whack from what I heard.
Yeah. me and Rashad was like we're both watching it and texting about it as it was happening. My theory is because as I was watching it, I was just like, bro, what is this? This ain't it, But I personally I don't want no more episodes. They're too long and drawn out. It's too much wait time in between something interesting happening. So it's just give us the album at this point. You're doing this whole, supposed to be so poetic with the Pinocchio and all the stuff. You got the writing legacy and dumping the ice on the legacy, and then they all cornered him, and it was just like, what, bro? Like, I feel you, I guess. Like, it's like you could kind of get what he's inferring, but at the same time, I don't really care because you took 20 minutes in between scenes to get to this, So, but my theory is, I think a lot of the songs that he played last night, they sound like not finished, but I think he's playing, like, especially what made me really come to that conclusion of, I think he's playing the original, like, thoughts of these songs, but then on the album it's gonna be like finished versions that are going to be like different, kind of showing the creative process in a sense. I think that's what he's kind of trying to do, possibly, I don't know. But when he had one scene where he had a girl looking at a video of him, pretty much you could tell he was like sitting there rapping a song, but I feel you could tell it was like not the complete version of the song. And then that's when I was like, okay, I think with some of these, he's just trying to maybe get a gauge on what people thinking. But then I'm like, he got to know that these ain't sounding all that, So I think it's just, these are the original versions of some of these songs. And then once the album drop, he going to put it all together and it's going to actually be, the songs are going to be better. That's what I'm hoping. Because if, like, even with the song that had the 3 different switches, like, the for real, like, first off, I hope he doesn't put that on the album. I'm gonna be real. I just don't want to hear that. But I think maybe those are 3 different songs and he just kind of previewed it like that. Because there's no way he goes from that first part and ends up at that third part. There's no way. It's like, bro, I don't know. If you doing that, you're gonna, I don't even know. Like, because I'm like, bro, that's just gonna be a bad look. Like, I want, of course, I'm a fan. I want my boy to succeed out here. But the thing I do think about is, I'm like, this is the same person that just gave us some sexy songs for you. And I'm like, that was a good project, and with good verses, it was good music on that. That was really a Drake album with some Party Next Door features. That's what it really felt like. And so I'm like, this same person just gave us good quality music earlier this year. I don't see how it could go so left so quick, So I don't know. We're going to see.
Yeah, this is definitely his, I would say it's probably his most important album since, like, probably since Scorpion, for real, as far as, like, the anticipation. So, I mean, for me, it's just, I don't want to hear, like, the same things that he's done before. I also don't want to hear, I don't want to hear him trying to pander to 20-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stylistically, like I said, the Yeet song is cool, but I don't need to hear like 38-year-old Drake, trying to make music for the younger people. Like, I hope that he can still make something with some bounce to it that's like upbeat and that's, they can play in the clubs or whatever. But it's just, I want him to do it in his own way. Like, it's that's creative and in a way that fits Drake. I don't want to hear him trying to sound like whatever the young trends that's going on,
Rapping over the Jim Legacy beats, rapping over the UK underground jerk beats, the Black Boy Max beats. I think for me, man, I wanted to say on a side note, with the Earl album grew on me, bro, and I knew it would. Like I said, like, because that's just what his music does to me. it's just like it's a thing that I just got to sit with, and then I just end up loving it. And I was saying this earlier. I was like, I feel like the Chance album, it was great music and stuff, but it's like I think it's because it feels like a commitment when you have to sit and listen to it. Where the Earl album is, I could put it on while I'm cleaning something or doing something around the house or walking somewhere because it's only 20 minutes. It's only, 20, 30 minutes. I feel like I could listen to that and don't tap the glass while I'm getting ready, as opposed to like the Chance album. I know it's going to have to take a full hour sit down to like sit through it. And it's ironic because I just had a random Chance song from Acid Rap come to mind. That's Love interlude come to mind earlier tonight, and I played it. And some other stuff like Acid Rain popped up after that, and I'm jamming. I'm like, man, but it's like it's crazy the feeling that Acid Rap gives me, and I don't know if he'll ever match that again. Even though these are good raps and quality music on this project, and I just don't know what it is, and I think it might just be that. It's like, am I still in the mood for 50-minute to hour-long albums? I don't know. Because even Chromacopia was only like 40 minutes.
No, facts.
I could still bump a full album if it's fire, but it's definitely harder to. It got to be something I'm really looking forward to a lot of times for me to sit through a full like hour long body of work at this point.
Yeah, no, it is tough these days to, unless, like you said, it's something that you really looking forward to.
Like, go ahead, Mo.
I was going to say, yeah, a lot of now I feel like you got to kind of get in and get out, just give what you make it nice, concise, and good music.
Because like For All the Dogs was like 32 songs. It felt like I'm not doing that, bro.
Yeah, it's
like I'll listen the first listen. Like the first listen, of course, I'll give it a full listen through, everything like that. If I'm doing a road trip, full listen through. But on the regular, nah. Go ahead, Mo.
Nah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's one of those things that you're gonna listen to, to consume it, but then it's like how often you finna go back and listen to whole album from top to bottom. That kind of goes back into the thing about, for me personally, with the Freddie Gibbs album, where with those Alchemist beats, they're all so smooth, so you can just play it from top to bottom. And that's where, for me, I really enjoy. So it's, when it's too much kind of going on and then it's just too drawn out, then it just kind of be like, all right, let me find something else that's more concise, because I don't feel like, but when you have a nice, smooth, like, sample beats or, just smooth beats in general, where it just can, from top to bottom, you can tell they're different songs, but then at the same time, they all kind of flow together, That's why, when I mentioned that Mariah the Scientist, like, bruh, like, I'll listen to that 3. Also, bruh, if you haven't heard it, it's a really good album. Like, y'all should listen to it. The entire album is really good. But those 3 songs from Eternal Flame to Burning Blue, they're so seamless that I keep having to replay it, because it just feels like kind of like one big song sometimes. And then next thing you know, I'm like, oh, I'm at the end of it. Like, I want to hear it again, so
Billy 2, Suave.
Oh yeah, so I need to go. I think I already downloaded it, but I just need to go back and listen to it. I might listen to that later. But yeah, man. Yo, real side note, bro. I was one thing, I'll be doing when I'm like listening to music, I'll be playing like my PlayStation or something. Bruh, man, I've been playing MLB. And so I've been playing MLB 24. Because I'm not finna buy 25. I don't like the game that much. But so I've been playing MLB 24. I've had this player. I'm in my 2nd season. I've been going crazy. I'm like, in the lead for MVP. With MLB, bro, it's slick a tough game, bro. Like, because you gotta really time those hits. It's not finna just come, So yeah, so I done got my dude good. Man, I went to that thing today, bro. It said cannot load. The data is corrupted.
Damn.
Bruh, I was so sick, bruh. I was like, dog. Cause
What?
them seasons long, bro. 180, like
Yeah. Let's see what happened. Like,
bruh, I don't know. I really have no clue, bro. But I was like, yeah, I guess that's my sign to go ahead and give the game up, man. They was like, bro, you been on 24 too long, bro. Either get 25 or call it quits.
that might low key. It's like when when the iPhones start acting up right when the new ones get dropped. That might be
Exactly.
what it is. They're trying to force you off there.
Exactly, bro.
I'm gonna let y'all know when I get a new game system. It's gonna be 2K just announced that they get in 100 schools. Like, but they said 2027. 2027, I'll get a new game system. I'll get the thing.
You said for the college basketball?
Yeah, they get in 100 schools, bro.
They said it, but they said it's supposed to be early 2026 from what I saw.
Well, they said they're gonna have some parts of it 2026.
Oh, okay.
But like the full 100 schools gonna be 2027.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nah, that's gonna be hard, bro.
Yeah. But it's like they starved us of they didn't starve us. They weren't paying the kids, So I guess it's all fair. How y'all feel about Kawhi getting that NIL deal with the Clippers?
Hey, get your money, black man.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not even mad at him. But shout out to Pablo though for the great journalism. It was entertaining. But I can't, it was like I saw somebody on Twitter say it's like a victimless crime. That's exactly how I feel. Like he ain't scamming no kids or like he ain't pull a Brett Favre and scamming the welfare fund. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, they're talking about it's a very serious situation, but I'm like, they said it's. I mean, they got the money to pay him. Y'all put in these rules where it's like you can't exceed certain caps, and there's all these penalties if we do X, Y, and Z. So it's like, man, I got extra 28 million to throw out to this man. Forget it. Go ahead, do it.
Is there a difference between that and like the Spurs? Their players have always been in like these HBA commercials, and I assume that that's a whole different paycheck or whatever, and is direct tied to like San Antonio, the organization, because they wear their full Spurs jerseys in the commercials. Is there any difference between that? Like, I guarantee. Like, is there any difference when people are like sign with the Lakers? You're gonna get more commercials.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
I don't know. I think like it might be. I just think it's the way the deal was structured. Like I'm not sure exactly what like the legal issue with the deal would be, but like I think it got something to do with him. Like not he's supposed to like send some tweets about promoting the thing. He basically got paid to do nothing involved in that job. So maybe that might be an issue, but I'm pretty sure most of the teams around the league do some version of this with their big name stars to an extent.
No, facts. Yeah, that's why I don't see nothing wrong with it, man. I think personally, as I said, get your money, and if they got the money to pay it, then I don't think it really, I don't even think it really needed to be investigated. Ain't like he put the money on prospects.
I was about to say it's not like it helped them like get a competitive edge.
Yeah, it's already at this point it's done. Like, but they'll punish them. They're gonna punish the Clippers, but it's just
They might. Y'all think they win it this year?
No.
This is their last chance. This is their last chance. Chris Paul last year, Bradley Beal last year, Ben Simmons done retired. Yeah, this is their last year.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to watch, but I don't see them winning it by no. But I mean, hey, nobody saw that Raptors team winning it. But I think if Kawhi can stay healthy, you never know. You never know what he can do. because he can turn into the best player on darn near planet Earth if when he gets in that mode. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe another 10 mil on the deal would do it for him.
He played a lot last year in the regular season. Like, he played in New Orleans like twice, and like when he played, I was like, "Is that Kawhi?" Like, I was like, the Clippers in town. I shouldn't be surprised that Kawhi Leonard's playing, but I was like surprised because I was like, "Oh snap, that's cool." Kawhi
Right.
Leonard playing. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's still kind of crazy that he's over there.
It's like watching Zion. I'm like, "Oh snap, Zion playing tonight."
Right.
For real.
Shocker.
Man, it's crazy, bro. Talking about punishments, man. In hindsight, bro, did Tiger Woods deserve all that?
Probably not, but it was. I mean, one, he was black. That played a part, and he's black with a white wife too. It was a different era, like the way we consume media. It was like stories back then. If you had a scandal back then, it lasted longer just because with social media, it's like a new scandal every day. So Tiger Woods, that was news for like I feel like months when that whole thing went down.
It would have went away if he won, but like he sucked after that. So it was like they just kept talking about it. It was like, does Tiger Woods suck because he crashed a car into the tree after cheating on his white wife?
Yeah, but I think it was just mentally, he went into a space where it was hard for him to focus, But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's crazy, man. I like looking back on it. I'm like, they really did that man dirty, bro. Because I don't think he didn't deserve all the hate, and like you would have thought he killed his wife. The way that.
You know what's crazy? Tiger Woods' allegiance to white people. All of that happened, and what he did, he got another white girl, and then what he did after that, he stood in the White House Oval Office and said, "Thank you, Mr. President Trump." Boy, what? Them crackers done called you all types of Negro and crack 'em coon, all of that. And what you done did, just ran right back to them white folks. Man, rest in peace to Tiger Woods' father. Jeez Louise, bro. Like,
I mean, but think about it from his perspective. It's like it might be one of those things where let me go back and let me lean further into this and do right this time because the white people took everything away from me. So let me not get on their bad side no more. So that might be one of his, what he kind of feels about it. Where it's like, let me, I guess somewhat like a Stockholm syndrome. Cause it's like, man, cause yeah, the black people, we watched the scandal. It was like, dang, Tiger, that's crazy, bro. But white people were like, nah, like, we need to take everything away from this man. Like he cheated on his white wife. Like we barely wanted you in the sport as it is. Like we got him, So I think he's like, hey, let me go ahead and stay on this side because, and I mean, shoot, embracing black people at this point, I don't even think it's like we rock with Tiger, but do we really rock with Tiger?
100%. That's another thing I was thinking about. In tennis, Serena, right, retires. Venus gets older, but who comes up? Coco Gauff comes up. Naomi Osaka comes up. Sloane Stevens is fine. Like, Taylor Townsend is a thing, right? So it's like we have like 4 or 5 new black, female tennis players to cheer for and everything like that, right? In golf, there's no black tennis star. I mean, there's no black golf star.
Yeah,
it's some Indians that look black. Oh, what did you say, Mom?
I said, cause they ain't trying to let no niggas on that field.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but black people, every Sunday, if Tiger's in it, what black people do? Oh, yeah. we cheering, man. I don't know if y'all. Yeah, black folks cheer for Tiger, especially on a Sunday if he's in it to win it.
So what you saying? He should have came out with a new logo with Rockaware?
Nah, because Nike too much money.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you come to the black side if you want, but hey, we gonna give you like the most you about to get out of most of these companies is a couple mil. Them,
Like Bubba Wallace, we be cheering for Bubba. I'll be cheering for Bubba Wallace like crazy when they say 5 laps left. Bubba Wallace is second place. I'll be like, let's go, Bubba. And he got a white wife, but he be like, we got to compromise with some. This all we got, bro.
right.
Yeah, Tiger Woods should have been a FUBU athlete.
Facts. That would have been hard, bro.
FUBU sports.
Man, so look, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Serena was popping at a time where she could have for sure been a pastry athlete, bro.
Pastry, yo. Pastry sports is crazy.
Pastries.
That was an era right there.
No.
Ladies was wearing
Williams
pastries.
sisters. Because get it? Because pastries is from the.
Yo, I need just at least one of Russell's nieces.
Right.
Shout out to yeah. Or Kanye as he used to be. Yo,
Right.
to the listeners at home, like I hope you guys listen to this all the way through. Just because like we real life are up at 2:30 in the morning on a Friday, recording this right now as we speak. So I hope to our real fan, like I hope that you appreciate this right now.
Yeah, we kind of switched it up. Usually, how we started the pod would have been how we ended with the goon talk.
Right, exactly. We got it out the way.
Yeah, we wanted to give us, if y'all don't know what we be talking about at the end, y'all got a little preview.
Exactly.
If you don't never stay that late, hey, this is what you.
Your boy. Wait, did you?
Go ahead, what you say?
Oh no, I thought you had broke up a little bit. My bad.
Nah.
No, I was gonna say your boy had to thug it out on this one. I was a little bit sleepy before, but whenever we start, it was like I get my energy back when we start talking. But before the show, I was a little bit drowsy. But I caught my rhythm. You know what I mean? Once the show started.
Yeah, we had to do this one tonight because the rest of the weekend was pretty much cooked for me. Like I'm getting off tomorrow at 1 a.m. y'all time, and then 1 a.m. and then the day after that, I'm getting off at like 9 y'all time. So that's not as bad, but yeah. This was kind of the day to get it done. So I appreciate y'all boys, man. It's pretty much it for this week. Fellas, I guess we'll sign off now.
Find me on Twitter, _ Jelani, 2 underscores. The TikTok account is still under construction, but we, sooner than later, we'll be back up and running.
Bad. Yeah, find me on Instagram on rbmo ___. Find me on TikTok at rubberbandmo, and then find me on X at monos _ I believe. I think it's 2 underscores. It's something like that. Yeah, just put in one. If you don't see me, put in a second. But all right, y'all. Y'all be easy, man.
We ain't even let Rashad shout his socials out.
Yeah, no, for sure. F Trey Songz for sure, because like that woman, when they say no means no, Trey Songz. No means no. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
All right.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Two Tonya, a piece, looking like Weez. Haven't